Yep, okay. Oh, God. What's up, everybody? How you doing? La 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 la. You know what? I asked you guys if you wanted to hear about the another crash that I was in. I never did tell you guys about it. It's in a hit and run scenario. And I was a victim. Actually, I hit this car, so but I'm still a victim in this one. And ultimately, they ran. That's being in an accident and then fleeing the scene. I think even if you're responsible, is actually a felony. But I wasn't responsible in this case. It was them that was responsible. Like, I think if you're in a fender bender, like a pop, and you got out and your shit was fine, and you're like, well, I'm fine, and their shit had like bumped up, I think you could just be like, well, you're alright? Yeah, well, I'm leaving. And I think then you're fine, but I don't know. But what happened to me is I was, this is actually very, you know what, I'm heading down. We'll be able to play the scenario out, yeah, because I'm heading down, I'm heading in the same direction I was that day that the whole thing happened. So, I was heading out this way, like I have an alcohol, and I go up to the, to go to the overpass of the highway, which is all fucked up right now. They're doing construction to widen the highway and the bridge going over the highway, and I think they're by separate crews, I believe, and I don't know if they realize they're both having to do the same thing at the same time. So there's time that the bridge people need to shut down the highway, and the highway people, it's all fucked, and this is never gonna get finished. We're just gonna live like this forever. I think they should just call it good enough and just leave. About to see it now. Orange barrels, looking back at me. But anyway, how it came to pass was, I came up around the highway like I am now, or I did a little turnaround thing. I was heading up this way. Now, and then maybe this van will scoot up and I can get around them. Or I'll do this. Motorcycles are fun. But shit, I'm right here where it's happening. So like I went to pull out this way, like so. Found me a good gap. And as soon as I pulled out, and this guy doesn't use his turn signal, no blinker. Yeah. Oh, is she? He's like, what does she mean? I don't understand. I shot out just like this to the outside lane because I was gonna get on the highway. Now, as I came up right about here, there was this slower traveling truck pulling a trailer with lawnmower equipment, and they just shot the fuck up in front of me, and I'm sliding like right here on the road. I'm sliding. To get into more detail about that, what happened was I'm coming over the hill. I'm doing about 45-ish, so I'm accelerating up to get on the highway, and the speed limit's 50 on this road anyway. It's not like I was even speeding it then. And they were probably doing maybe in the mid-20s. And I was approaching them, and I remember I thought to myself, I was like, this truck may change lanes into me. Just because he had the slow sign, I feel like really that's really illegal. Don't do that. So like, they were going much slower, and I thought to myself, this truck may try to come over. Like, people always do that when there's like a lot of traffic like that. They try to cut over to get onto the highway. Most people going down that stretch aren't going this way. Like, this is such an untraveled part of the road I'm on right here. Everyone always gets on the highway right here. So I thought, shit, like I remember I was like starting to cover my brake, this chopping throttle. I was like, I bet this guy comes into my lane. But then I thought to myself, I was like, yeah, it's way too late. He won't try to get on the highway now. The highway entrance is right there. Like, as soon as I like started to let off the throttle, like let off the brake and just kind of, you know, do one of those. I mean, dude, it like swerved. It was like an old Chevy truck, like a white truck pulling a lawnmower equipment. And when they swerved, they came in front of me so fast and I'm like up on the side of the lane right here, so I had no way. It's hard to explain to people. Like people were like, "Why don't you go around it?" Believe me, you cannot have swerved this hard to get back around them. It was like an impossible turn to try to do that. So I slammed up on the brakes as hard as I could, like, and I was just gonna lay her down. I mean, there was no way I was gonna be able to like slow down time. I knew I was gonna hit the back of the trailer, but I didn't want to hit it like this and like fly off the fucking bike. So dude, I'm like sliding. Like let's say this is the back of the trailer right here. Like I'm sliding like this. I'm full fucking lock. Like the wheels turned out. I'm full lock on the to the bump stops on the steering. Like I can't have the wheel turned anymore with the frame sideways anymore. It's just, you know, it's now starting to actually turn the direction of the wheel. And I'm coming up, I'm like, all right, here it is. I'm about to impact the back of the fucking trailer. The front tire of this bike hits it. Now it doesn't hit it like super violently hard or anything. Actually, it scrubbed off some good speed. But what it did do is it fucking hit the back, and then when it hit, the bike high-sided. And it just, boom, just tossed my ass. So, imagine there's no one in my lane. So I'm like this, and I'm like, ah! Flying the fuck through the air. I mean, I got fucking lobbed up in the air. And I'm looking at the back of the trailer. It was one of those closed gates. Dude, my head is like above it. Like I'm in the air like this now. Fucking hands sprawled out. And I remember thinking to myself for a brief second, like, I'm gonna fucking grab the back of this trailer. Like, I'm not gonna hit the ground. Like, I'm gonna be able to fucking, like, I'm gonna fucking do like an Indiana Jones thing. I'm gonna fucking go to the cabin and like kick the guys in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like da 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 da. I'll climb over and just through the windshield. You fucking bastards! Like fuck my bike. Like oh, but no, I barely like missed that thing. I mean, it must have been within inches of my hands, and I came down and hit and just slammed the fuck down and rolled a few times, and I'm just skinned down the road. That's how I now have similar scars on one side of my body as I do the other. I was wearing jeans that time too, and another jacket, and it pulled up the same kind of injuries I have now. But they're healing up quite nice. I'm actually almost all better. It's like little small scabs at this point. But yeah, like it fucking sucked, man. I really got thrashed on that accident, and I got up, and this truck had almost stopped, and I stand up in the road and like I throw my hands up, and they just hammered it. They took the fuck off, and a bunch of Hispanic dudes in the back of it. I'm not trying to talk shit, but good chance they were a bunch of illegals. Just because, I mean, that's not, I'm not trying to sound like racist or anything. It's just that's the kind of behavior from that I would expect to see, because if they're illegal, they're not going to stick around and wait for the cops. They're going to get the fuck out of Dodge like really fast, because that's, you know, like that's a lot of trouble right there if they stick around. So I think it's just over here a little bit ago the other day. So they took off, and I wanted to like literally go jump on my bike, which was still running after it was sliding down the road, getting all banged up. My shit's over there just running. I run to pick it up, but people stopped like crazy, which never happens when you're in an accident. Nobody gives a fuck. But people started stopping all around me and asking me if I was okay and telling me to like not move, you know. And the cops ended up coming, and I told them I didn't want a paramedics. I'd be okay. Because they were like, oh my god, are you alright? I was like, yeah, whatever. I just filled out a police report, insurance, had to deal with them, and it was a pain in the ass, and they wanted to total this beautiful thing, and I ended up keeping it without a salvage title, and got a little chunk of change to fix it, way more than I needed. So that was nice. And then, but yeah, I mean, it just sucked, because they took off, and there's no way, even if I had a camera running, there would have been nothing to do, because they had no plate on the back. This whole thing, it would have been a cool crash to catch on film or hit and run like that, but, I mean, it's weird, I guess you still categorize it as a hit and run. I hit them, but it wasn't my fault. They cut me off in traffic, so it's just, is the name of the game, I guess, I don't know. I think the part that really like pisses my wife off is I wrecked and my wife wasn't even like a quarter-mile away. She was at work and it was right next to her work where she used to work at the time. And I didn't call her. I didn't even go back home. My house was really close up there too at the time. Living somewhere else. What the fuck are we doing? And instead of doing anything like that, I just went ahead and went where I was already going, which is over to my buddy's house for his birthday. I just went over there, hung out, ate some cake, put some alcohol on my wounds. I guess I didn't realize how like bad they were. I just thought they were like some scrapes. I skinned my knees, skinned my side, but it's a little bit beyond that. You know, they're a little bit more rough than that. But I didn't really think about that at the time. I just thought like, oh, whatever, I'm fine. And just shifted into neutral. You just stay on the throttle if you're wondering how to do this. Fuck that last one up a little bit. I ended up like throttling it too much, just spun on one of the stairs. Need a little more momentum. But climbing stairs is pretty easy. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, bye bye. Fucking roundabouts. How do you use one of these like wheelies
or something? Plastic like that. It's probably how they come off the truck.
What
What am I blabbing on about? There's always some guy on a yellow DRZ off-roading in this field over here. I wonder if it's worth the shit to off-road in this field. I think I've done it a long time ago.